This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, hello there, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond welcoming you to another Sports Catastrophe on this day. And on this day, September 10th, 1977, a shock would befall the 1977 New York Yankees. Yes, it involves my Toronto Blue Jays, and obviously, gotta give credence to the Blue Jays whenever possible. But this was important. Yes, the Blue Jays beat the Yankees 19-3, but let's forget that this was the Blue Jays' inaugural season. So the Blue Jays were born in 1977. Toronto almost had a major league team in 76 when the Giants almost moved from San Fran to Toronto. But a last second owner got in. However, thanks to the efforts of one Ewing Kauffman, the owner of the Kansas City Royals, whose wife Muriel actually was a Toronto native and sold her husband on the fur trees of Toronto, the American League decided to award one of its expansion teams to Toronto, alongside Seattle. Seattle got theirs because of an antitrust suit. People wanted Washington to do it. Rudy Kuhn wanted Washington to get another expansion team after the baseball team left for Texas. But to no avail. So the Blue Jays won their first game. I believe I talked about that, April 7th, 1977. Anyhow, the Blue Jays were not doing so well. They were 46-92 coming into this game. So they basically had a .333 winning percentage. So they literally won one out of every 3 games they played. The Yankees head into the game were more than 30 games above 500 and were looking good in first place with Baltimore luring behind them. But the 1977 New York Yankees had a lot of problems. As we all know, Billy Martin had the problems with Reggie Jackson, especially when Reggie came from Baltimore to the Yankees. People forget that Reggie played 1 year with the Baltimore Orioles before he went to the Yankees. He was in that, what they call a free agent draft. And Montreal wanted to renegotiate, but I think Reggie just didn't like Montreal's weather and all that. So he went to the Yankees. So anyway, the Blue Jays were up for a good time, as it were. On the mound for the Yankees would be Catfish Hunter, a very stylish starting pitcher. The Blue Jays went with Jim Clancy, who was only 2-6 heading to today's game. Catfish Hunter was 9-8. The starting lineups for the powerhouse New York Yankees of 1977: Mickey Rivers in center, Greg Nettles at third, Thurman Munson at catcher, Reggie Jackson DHs, Chris Chambliss at first, Lou Piniella in right, Roy White in left, Willie Randolph at second, Bucky Dent, yes that guy, at short, and Catfish Hunter pitching. The Blue Jays: Steve Skaggs at second base. Who? Exactly. Al Woods in left, Roy Howe at third, remember the name, Ron Fairley, the DH, Doug Auld, the first baseman, and the first Blue Jay hero of all time, Gary Woods in center, Steve Bowling in right, Rick Cerrone at catcher, and Timmy Nordbrook at shortstop. Not really household names, huh? So anyway, the Blue Jays went up against Catfish. Roy Howe had an RBI double, and Ron Fairley had an RBI single. 2-0 after 1. Then it was quiet until the third inning when Roy Howe and Ron Fairley went back-to-back, getting another RBI. So they both have 2 RBIs, 4-0. With Furman Munson at the plate, Clancy threw a wild pitch to score Bucky Dent to make it 4-1. However, the Jays kept going. Tim Nordbrook got a base hit to score Bowling, and it was 5-1. Then the Yankees decided to yank Catfish for Ken Clay. Al Woods hit an RBI single to make it 6-1. Yankees got a run in the bottom of the 4th thanks to Willie Randolph. And then there was nothing until the top of the 6th. Nordbrook reached on a ground ball error by the second baseman, I think that's Randolph. Bowling scored to make it 7-2. Al Woods would get an RBI single with the bases juiced to make it 8-2, and then Stan Thomas came in for the Yankees. Roy Howe would hit a 2 RBI single to make it 10-2, and Doug Auld scored on an RBI groundout. Got an RBI groundout to score Al Woods. The Yankees did get a sacrifice fly for Dave Bergman former Tiger of the '84 team, who pinch hit for Willie Randolph. The Yankees were really out of it. They decided to put Dal Alston. And Dal Alston, was he related to Walter Alston? Dal Alston? Anyway, by the seventh inning, the Yankees had problems. Elrod Hendricks would be the catcher. Dave Bergman went to first. George Siebert went to play second base. Fred Stanley was at short, and Carlos May was in right field. So basically, the Yankees were giving up, in a sense. Steve Staggs would hit an RBI single to score bowling to make it 12-3. Larry McCall came in for the Yankees. Al Woods reached on a McCall booted ground ball to make it 12-3. No, to make it 13-3, pardon. And then Roy Howell hit a grand salami. Sorry, not a grand slam, sorry. They said it was a grand slam. Sorry. They said 3 people scored. That can't be right. Oh yeah, he scored himself. So Roy Howell hit a 3-run home run to right field to make it 16-3. The Yankees decided to replace McCall with Ken Holtzman, a very good starting pitcher way back when. Mickey Klutz went to third base, and Paul Blair became a center fielder. Blue Jays didn't really make any changes. Jim Clancy was there for the long haul. Top of the ninth, Roy Howell came up to the plate against Holtzman and hit an RBI double. Scored Steve Staggs and Al Woods. The funny thing is, that made 9 RBIs for Roy Howell, which is unbelievable. It's still the Blue Jays record to this day as Edwin Encarnacion. We all know about his 3 home run, 9 RBI day in August of 2015, but that tied it. Roy Howell of all people. Doug Alt would get an RBI groundout, his second of the day. So the score was 19-3 Blue Jays at the end of it. Jim Clancy pitched a complete game, 8-hitter. And the Blue Jays didn't make any substitutions at all, not even when the game got out of hand, which was weird. When it came down to it, the final tallies were this. Tim Nordberg with an RBI, Steve Staggs with an RBI, Doug Alt with 2 RBIs, Ron Fairley with 2, Al Woods with 2, Roy Howell with 9 RBIs. Even if you take the 9 RBIs away from Howell, Blue Jays would have scored 8 runs and won the game against the Yankees. Blue Jays would end up being the runt of the litter in the 1977 AL East, obviously, because they're an expansion team. The Yankees, for some reason, even though they lost 19-3 to an expansion team, a bunch of nobodies, if you will, did manage to win the World Series against the LA Dodgers in 6 games, thanks to Reggie Jackson's heroics. Man, it was kind of weird seeing the Yankees just get pummeled. And they won the World Series that year. And they lost to a bunch of no-names. Well, stick it up your butt, Yankee fans. Because the Blue Jays are here to stay. The Jays and Yankees would meet in other key matchups. Some good, some bad. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. Adieu.